The following broadcast is brought to you by Public House Media.
Hey everyone, welcome to Beauties and Headcanon. This is Emily along with my co-host Erica. We're here to talk nerdy to you.
Hey everyone, today we're going to be going through our top 5 Disney Princess Power Rankings. We're also going to go through who isn't officially a Disney princess, but who probably should be. Before we get into that though, we're going to have to go over the official rules to becoming an official Disney princess as addressed by Disney, who basically is the one that tells the world that they're official. So there are obviously some that don't count, but let's be real, everyone else in the world thinks they are too.
Right, exactly.
So the main thing, obviously, I feel like this is like the most obvious rule in the entire world, but to be a Disney princess, they have to be the main protagonist of a Disney animated film. 2 things to note, this can include a sequel, so like they can't be the protagonist of the sequel, or they cannot be in a movie that is not animated. So that kind of eliminates just a couple. I don't think there's too many, but there are some in there. They also have to be human at some point during the movie. So if you have seen any of like the original Disney movies, you'll remember Ariel, who is technically a mermaid. She is human at some point in the movie, so technically she counts as a Disney princess, but there are some that may not count. There's also an unspoken rule. They don't advertise this, but in order to be a Disney princess, their movie has to have been some sort of a box office hit or some sort of success in the eyes of Disney.
Yeah. And then after all of those qualifications have been met, the possible princess in question must fulfill at least one of these. They either need to be born royal, marry royal, or complete an act of heroism as a part of the movie. So those are the qualifications. And then after all of those have been met and Disney decides that the princesses are qualified to become that, then there's actually a whole coronation ceremony at Disney. I don't know if you knew about that.
I did,
which is
yeah, I heard
kind of
that.
crazy. Yeah, so like the most recent princess that has been crowned was Merida back in 2013.
Wait,
So-
Anna and Elsa haven't been crowned yet?
No, they
Goodness.
they don't count because they were too successful in the box office, so they have their own entire franchise.
That's not fair. They're Disney
Yeah.
princesses in my eyes.
I know, exactly. So technically, they're snubbed, and they have their own franchise. So they were too successful, and
They're snubbed in like a good way, though.
Yeah, I know. So, like, that's good for them. And maybe we could just consider them the queens of the Disney princesses.
Let's not go that far.
No, yeah, I guess not. Okay. I mean, Elsa's a queen, but Anna's not. So, anyway.
So Elsa technically wouldn't count anyway because she's not a princess, but
I guess.
okay, we'll get over that.
yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, so Elsa and Anna are technically not official Disney princesses because their movie got like $1.3 billion. Which
it
is
was ridiculous.
Literally over twice as much as the most recent princess that was, Merida was the most recent one crowned at Disney. So,
Wow.
anywho,
I can't believe that.
that's like the ground rules there. So, let's go ahead with our rankings.
Yeah, sure. And before I actually announce my ranking, I just want to explain how I chose them. Some people would, pick them based on who they liked the most, or maybe how relatable they were, or whatever, but I chose mine based on what I thought their, power level would be if they were a superhero, and how badass they are. That's kind of how I
like
selected mine, which is a little
awesome.
odd, but whatever. So my ranking, I'm going to go 5 to 1, to kind of build up the suspense. Number 5, I chose Rapunzel from Tangled. Number 4, I chose Pocahontas from the movie, obviously, Pocahontas. Number 3, I chose Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Number 2 is Merida from Brave. And then number 1, my favorite Disney princess of all time, Mulan.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so you said Mulan is the top one, but Rapunzel is number 5.
Yes.
Maybe let's figure out how why do you think Mulan over the other ones then? What makes her stand out the most?
I think the main thing, well, one, that was my favorite movie growing up. That was like the most,
it's
it's
good,
the easiest one to, like, I saw her and she wasn't fighting for a man the whole time. It was like, she was fighting for her country, for her family, like, she went to war so that her dad didn't have to, and she did a pretty good job at it. I don't know if you guys remember, but she won, like, a medal from the Emperor at the end. Spoilers if you haven't seen it.
If you haven't, you should.
If you haven't, I highly recommend it. But she was just fantastic. Like, that's why she's my number one. Like, I look up to her, and I looked up to her as a child. Like, she's fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
All the others are great, too. But, like, she's obviously my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, so you say Mulan is the highest ranking Disney princess?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, shall we get to my list and then we can kind of compare?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so my list, I made my list based on who I find most relatable, and also I'm a little bit biased towards music. I love Disney music, and specifically I love the Alan Menken music. So most of the princesses that I chose actually have soundtracks by him, and I just love them. Whatever I find that's like easiest to sing to, I love belting Disney music all around. So like that's a big thing for me. Yeah, that's a big thing for me. So if they don't have good music, I tend to not follow along as well. I'm sorry. I know they could have the best storyline in the world, but music really catches me. So anyways, here's my ranking from 5 to 1. I did Jasmine as number 5 from Aladdin. And then number 4 is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. 3 is Mulan. 2 is Pocahontas. And then 1 is actually Rapunzel from Tangled. So we have a little bit of overlap here, which is kind of interesting because we picked similar ones, but for different reasons.
And they're in a different order for the most part. I don't think anyone is in the same ranking.
I don't think they are. I would agree with that.
They're pretty much opposite, actually.
yeah, actually, kind of. Except for Mulan and Rapunzel aren't opposites of each other.
Yeah, and I didn't have Jasmine, but...
Yeah. I just needed somebody... So, okay, story behind Jasmine. I kind of threw Jasmine in as a little bit of a filler because I originally had Ariel in my list, but the more I thought about her as a princess and things, I really ended up not liking her that much. Just
which
like
makes sense, I guess.
I love that
she's
she has
great.
an amazing singing voice.
Good character.
Yeah.
But like as a Disney top 5 princess, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what to compete with.
she just didn't think about circumstances enough for her to make the top 5. So
she's a little selfish in my eyes, I think.
Exactly. I agree there. So anyways, that's my list. I picked Rapunzel as the best because I love singing her soundtrack so much.
I mean, who doesn't?
Also,
like, come on.
I love it. She went out to follow her own dream, even though she knew that her mother would probably come find her and lock her up again, and it's not really her actual mother. Spoilers. But she also inspired other people to follow their dreams too. When she went to the tavern,
that bar, yeah,
she was like, "I've got a dream," and then like all these other guys were like, "Hey, I got a dream too. Let me sing about it." Oh, okay. And then later on in the movie, you actually see that some of them are following their dreams, and it's really
right?
cool.
I thought that was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even though she was my number 5, I thought she was pretty badass. She took down Flynn Rider with a cast iron pan. Like who does that? I wouldn't even thought of that. I would just ran away or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then she also like kind of bribed him into taking her to see the floating lights or the lanterns or whatever.
On her part. That was really
clever. That was pretty smart. Like, again, I probably wouldn't have thought of that. And I feel like I'm pretty bright most of the time.
I know. Yeah, me too. And then she's like, well, you need to do this for me, and then I'll give you your thing back. In the moment, I wouldn't have thought of that. Especially, thinking she was, like, locked away and, like, didn't interact with anybody else.
Yeah. Like, for being alone most of the time, she is pretty smart. You'd think she'd be more of, like, a shut-in, not really good at interacting with people, but no, she's pretty awesome. Yeah. And then she had that horrible mother. Well, horrible, but great. I don't even know how you would describe her.
Mother Gothel woman. Yeah.
She was just, I don't know. She was interesting.
Yeah, stop taking everything so seriously. I'm just kidding. No, you're actually being serious. They're saying that so she doesn't feel so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
She bothered me.
So she was brainwashed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my number one. That's why I think Rapunzel is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, Pocahontas was right up there with Rapunzel. It was really close to me. For Pocahontas being number 2, I really wanted to put her at number 1 too, because like she literally learned a new language in order to talk with John Smith.
And it was pretty much like saving her, not saving, because obviously we know how that ended, but she pretty much saved her people, kind of. Like learning the language and communicating with them.
Yeah, she basically was like an ambassador to the English people for the Powhatan people. She learned to communicate with them, and she taught John Smith that like there's more to life than getting rich and conquering the whole world and all of that too. And then in her sequel movie, which she can have a sequel in order to be a princess, she just can't be introduced in the sequel essentially. So, like, in the sequel, she literally went to England as a representative of her people.
Yeah,
which is
and
really
unfortunately
cool.
it didn't work, but...
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, so Pocahontas, I think, is really epic as well.
Oh, yeah. I had her as 4, but, like, it was my top 5. They were so close. I mean, Mulan stood out above all of them, but, like, 2 through 5 were so close. Yeah. So close. Mm-hmm. Ugh. Pocahontas was like, she is fantastic. We watched her movie in one of my like classes in high school, basically about how racist it is. But even apart from that, like I thought as a Disney princess, she like is someone that young girls could look up to, and, like setting themselves apart from the norm, which I think is really awesome. That's
kind of the whole premise behind Disney princesses too, is Disney, saying that these people are qualified to be a role model, essentially.
Yeah.
So
and even she spoke out against her dad when she didn't want to marry Kocoum, and was just like, I don't want to marry this guy. Like, why are you making me? I thought that was pretty awesome.
I loved her songs too, like just around
they were all so catchy.
Like, she wanted to go in a way that not many people had gone before, and like paint with all the colors of the wind and figure out. And it sounds super duper cheesy, like knowing what the song's about and everything, but like, it's basically saying like once you understand who you are and how you relate to everything around you, then you don't really need to gain worldly riches and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So because you already kind of have that in your soul.
Yeah, exactly.
So cute.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. So, yeah. Shall we go on to our snubbed list then? Because I
want to go over Belle and Merida, my 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah? All right, let's do it.
So I chose Belle as number 3. Mainly because she sacrificed herself for her dad, even though her dad's like way older than she is, and everyone kind of is like, well, he's old, he's gonna die anyway, why don't you just let him stay? She's like, no, I love my dad, and I'm gonna take his spot. And she handled it like a champ, and made the best of the situation, and even tried to teach the Beast how to read, which was really awesome.
It was really cool of her.
Like, let's be honest, how many people in this world would be that well-behaved in that sort of situation? I know I wouldn't. I'd be pouting in the corner, like, let me go, I don't need to be here, why are you keeping me prisoner?
I have no idea how I would have reacted. But she was really awesome too, and I have her at number 4, but as we said, it was really close with all of our rankings too, so
but she is fantastic. And then obviously Merida is number 2. Mainly, I chose her because, again, she wasn't doing anything for a husband. They were telling her, like, ooh, one of these guys is gonna win your hand in marriage, and she's like, no, I'm gonna win my own hand in marriage. Let me show you. Yeah, and she won everything. Really cool. Like, she was so good at archery. I could not imagine watching that and not being like, all right, well, you won, so you get to do what you want.
Right? I'm only a little jealous of her skills there. It's kind of awesome.
It's so awesome. I wish I was that good at archery.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, well, I'm up through my list. Did you get through everyone on yours?
So I had basically the same thing you had for Belle. She's a little bit of an oddball and does her own thing, whatever she feels like, which kind of reminds me of me.
Yeah, me too. I feel like she is like me as a Disney princess. I'm a bookworm, I'm a little odd, kind of do my own thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I liked her for that. I also picked Jasmine. She was number 5 though, but she has a pet tiger, so that's kind of really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And she also continued to stand up. Her father was a little bit bamboozled by Jafar, but she kind of saw through it.
He was under his spell, so.
Yeah, exactly. So she stood up to Jafar, though. And then even after being kept prisoner by Jafar, she still, took the reins of her country. And also her father was trying to get her to marry for... being what's in the best interest of the kingdom and yada yada, marry some stuck-up prince.
And it was a part of like the rules or whatever.
Yeah, and she was like, "No, I don't want to marry who you tell me. I'm going to marry somebody that I actually care about."
Exactly, and she changed the rules to do so.
Right? Yeah,
well,
exactly.
technically Aladdin changed them. Well, Genie, but spoilers.
Yeah, just watch the movie.
I know, right? If you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're waiting for.
So I picked Jasmine. So.
Yeah. So, let's move on to snubs. My biggest snubbed princess. Number 1 should be on the list, but doesn't meet all the rules. It's also really close, but I'm going to have to go with Princess Leia. Technically not a Disney princess, just added to the Disney universe. I feel like recently, I don't know how recently I think it was like a couple years ago they bought them. But she is a badass, and if she could be on my list, she probably would be, because, come on, let's be honest. Princess Leia is amazing.
Seriously. I mean, she can use the Force, and from what I hear, she's actually really much better with the Force than Luke actually is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's live action, which is why she couldn't be on the list, and it's not animated, so that kind of also takes it out of there. And their series is, like, super popular, so she also loses out because she's too successful for Disney.
Just like Elsa and Anna. She's, her franchise is... It went in its own.
I get it, but like, at least put them on the list. Like, they are a Disney princess. They just can't be lumped together with the other ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically, I don't think she's counted as royal. Would you? I don't think I would count that as royal.
I think she was officially adopted as the princess.
Oh, well, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Yep, she was officially adopted, so she is a princess.
But she's not born royal. She didn't marry to be royal. She did complete an act of heroism and is considered a princess in the universe, which I think totally counts.
I think that qualifies. I feel like
if she has adoption the title counts princess, as being royal. Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
So I think she. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I also, she's unofficial yet, but I think she will be. I think Moana should also be. Would be on my list. I would take Rapunzel off my list and add Moana instead, just because she's young and still standing up for what she believes in, and she goes off on her own to go tackle the Queen Tefiti.
Tefiti, yep, the goddess Tefiti. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's when she calms down. What's the other one? Tekka.
Oh, Tekka.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she takes down Tekka.
That
was pretty cool. And she stands up to I can't think of the big guy's name off the top of my head. I just watched it. Yeah, Maui. Yeah. And is like, no, you are going to take me there because I said so. And you're going to do it. And he's like, I guess.
Yeah.
Although he kind of fights it for a while.
Yeah. I love what they do, though, with Maui and how he's like, if you have an animal sidekick and you wear a dress, you're a princess. I'm like, ooh, is that a new qualification?
That a couple episodes ago, I was like, you got to wear a princess dress, like...
yeah. Well, and I don't know if you always have to wear a dress necessarily, but the animal sidekick thing actually holds up.
Yeah, like think about it. I couldn't think of any Disney princess that doesn't. Well, I guess technically, does Belle have a animal sidekick?
She has her horse, I guess. That kind of counts. And then there's the inanimate.
I don't know if I count that though, because that's the horse that takes her dad to the castle. So technically, it's not her sidekick. It's like theirs.
Yeah, and then Merida has her horse too, which is the only other one that I can't think of that has.
I think that one would count a little more because it has. I think it has a bigger
Yeah, the horse goes on
character
her
presence.
adventure with her. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess with Belle Philippe, the horse like is out there in the woods when she gets attacked by the wolves, and then the
Yeah.
beast saves her. Oh, but other than that,
guess. I wouldn't call it a
it's more of a
sidekick, but it's
minor.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the other ones definitely
Everyone
have
else does.
sidekicks. Yeah.
Yeah. Even Moana, even though technically she has, what is it, 2? She has a little pig, and then when she's on the
She has
on
Pooh
the
the
raft,
pig,
she
and
has
then she
the
has
little
Hey
chicken.
Hey the chicken. But
Yeah.
I mean, Ariel has 2. She has Flounder the fish, and then she has Sebastian the crab.
No, I mean, I
Pocahontas
think
has
Flounder
2.
would technically be considered the sidekick, because
Yeah, I would
Sebastian's
think
more of, like
so.
her guardian.
Yeah.
Pocahontas definitely has 2, though.
Yeah, she has Flit and Miko.
Yeah.
So she's
Oh,
got
Miko
those
is so
two.
cute.
I love them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then obviously Mulan has, oh my goodness, what's his name?
Yeah.
Mushu? That's
Mushu,
his name.
Mushu, and then the cricket. Does the cricket have a name?
Cricket have a name?
I don't know. Is it? I feel like it's like cricket.
Yeah, I don't.
Cricket
That's a
or
good
something.
question. I'm not sure.
I don't know. But anywho, yeah. So yeah, I definitely think Moana is going to be officially inducted into the princess-dom.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because it hasn't been a year yet. I don't think, right?
Moana came out in I think November last year, so
So it's close. So in the
she's
next
got
year or
some
so,
time
she'll be
yet, but
inducted.
we'll keep our eyes peeled or our ears
Yeah.
open. Yeah.
So there's a few that are actual snubs that aren't like that should be in there that aren't for various reasons.
Yeah.
Let's see who there's a couple that I think should be that aren't because they don't fit the rules, but they should fit the rules. My favorite one though is Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. Technically not a princess. She's animated. She has an animal sidekick.
Yeah.
She completes an act of heroism. I don't know if it was a box office hit and she was a success, but I loved it. I watch it all the time.
Yes, Lilo's awesome.
Yeah. Who would you put as like your top snubbed princess?
My top snubbed, Kida from Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
So sad that Atlantis didn't do so well. I loved Atlantis. Maybe it's just
feel like
because I'm
it's
like a
bigger
super
now.
sciencey nerd or whatever, but I love the Atlantis story, and I love like the technology that the Atlantis people had. And that
it
sort of
was
stuff,
such a
like,
good
it was
movie, though.
Amazing. It's so good. I can't believe it didn't do very well. So
I
Kida,
know.
she was, if you don't remember, she was the princess of Atlantis that the crew that was looking for Atlantis actually found Atlantis and then had to like interact with the people, and Kida was the one that most of the time they interacted with. And then she actually ended up saving Atlantis again by encompassing her city in this orb of energy so that it would not get destroyed by lava. So she kind of is a big deal, and that's a huge act of heroism. Pretty much the only reason she didn't get picked as a princess is because she didn't do so well at the box office. But
I feel like that's on Disney, though. They might not have advertised it very well, like marketed it to the right audiences. I don't know.
I guess not. But I mean, they
Blame
made a
it
sequel.
on Disney, though.
They made a
Yeah,
sequel.
I don't know. I mean, they make sequels for most of their movies.
Yeah,
so.
they do. But like, I don't know. It should have done better.
Yeah,
Let's
you're
just
right.
say that. Yeah, so Kita's my biggest beef. But I also definitely think Meg from Hercules had something going for her.
I had her on my list too, but I don't think she was technically royal, and I believe she like sold her soul to I can't think of his name.
Hades.
To
She
Hades,
sold her soul to Hades, but I think that got fixed when Hercules saved her.
Yeah, so technically she's not royal, but she kind of is because Hercules is like a god.
Yeah, and she went through an
some
act of
sort,
heroism, so the royalty thing kind of doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Like
But
they
didn't do very well, apparently.
like she did sell her soul to have her fiance come back from the dead, and then like that's her whole like backstory thing. Yeah, so that's her backstory. But then afterwards, she actually like either died or her soul got stolen by Hades again or something, and so she was in the underworld and had to get just Hercules did something, and she had I still think she could have been in the running as well. But again,
absolutely.
I don't think Hercules did as well. And that movie was more targeted toward boys, too.
Oh, that's probably why. Because, I don't know, I just feel like boys wouldn't see her as a princess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and Mulan technically, she doesn't part of royalty, but she was honored by the emperor after her act of heroism. So that's where the act of heroism, I think, comes in, is to help Mulan fit those qualifications. But
actually,
anyways.
I just thought of something else. So she is not technically the main protagonist of Hercules, so that could be why she's not a Disney
maybe
princess.
It is.
Yeah,
maybe
same with Princess Leia, so it makes sense.
That could be
but,
it.
like, you have to acknowledge when they meet all the qualifications other than that, and they're like a big character. I don't know.
At the same time, I think they want to be selective, too, because they can't just have every single person that qualifies, like, automatically get inducted into the thing.
That's true. But we'd have, like, 50. Well, maybe not 50, but we'd have a lot.
A lot. And there's already, I think, 11 of them.
Yeah, so, there's quite a few. Yeah.
But
one that I really think should have been a Disney princess, but doesn't meet the human standard, is Nala from Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, she is the son or princess of Mufasa.
Yeah.
Her daughter of Mufasa, but obviously the movie's about Simba, so...
Right.
And even if she's not the daughter of Mufasa, she would be royal by marriage. So.
Right, yeah. And there's some controversy about who her father really is, but, you know,
I mean,
lions,
I think in a general lion pack, I don't know if they're called... Pride, yeah, she would be the daughter of the main male.
Right, the head lion, the head male. I think you're right. So, there is
although she's not a main protagonist, I think she should at least be in, like, the secondary official Disney princess category.
Yeah, that should be a thing.
Yeah, secondary. They're like the B-listers.
Yeah.
Or the second string, you know.
Exactly. Another one I think that should follow under those lines is, and I know this is a Disney Pixar one, so maybe it doesn't kind of count, but I think Dory might be a good qualifier for that,
too.
Absolutely.
She represents, like, the disabled community, as well as, like, being just, well, she's a fish, so not human.
Yeah,
but, like,
she's a fish. She's definitely
is pretty
not
badass.
Human,
Could you imagine not, like, having memory and still, like...
figuring out a way to do everything, and...
She is so fantastic.
I know, and I would consider her a main protagonist of Finding Nemo, even though she's not in the title.
Yeah, there's the two main protagonists, like Marlin and then Dory, and then Nemo, I guess, would technically be like the I don't even know what you, like, the victim.
He's like a side person, even though he's like the main goal. It's almost like Elsa and Anna in Frozen. Anna was the main protagonist, but Elsa was the one that, like, caused certain things to happen that made Anna do what she needed to do. It's kind of similar there. But anywho, I think Dory would be a really good candidate too, but obviously she's not human, which I think the human element has to be for, like, the Disney theme parks where they have actual
we have to have the, like,
actresses
playing them. Yeah, I get
so
it.
they kind of don't want to dress up like Dory and walk around.
That would be a little odd. But I mean,
I'm sure Dory actually walks around though.
Yeah, you're right. Probably if there's, like, a different section that has, like, all the Dory Finding Nemo stuff. So
anywho,
you know, she might not count because she is the main protagonist of Finding Dory, even though obviously, again, not human. But
she wasn't introduced in the sequel though. She was in the original movie. She was just
but she ended up being the main protagonist in Finding Dory, technically. So whatever.
Yeah, there is that. Although maybe it's also because of the Pixar aspect of it too. It's not a purely Disney movie.
Yeah, I mean, if we're including Pixar, I feel like we're including a lot of different movies.
I mean, then we could go to
considered.
Like Toy Story, and we could go to all kinds of other things. But anyways,
and those aren't all humans.
right, yeah. So that's basically all I've got for the snubbed ones. But if you guys have any of your own rankings of princesses, or if you want to add any to our snubbed list, you can go ahead on our Facebook page and comment on that to tell us what you think about all of these different things. And
I'd love to hear what you guys think, because I mean, obviously we picked very similar ones, but maybe we're missing someone that should be on there. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we completely forgot about somebody, so let us know.
I hope not. I went through the whole list twice, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we are human, so.
That's true, yeah. And obviously I'm biased towards a couple, so.
Yeah, I know, aren't we all?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, thanks for getting nerdy with us. Share with us on our Facebook page how you would rank them, and let us know if you're adding to the snub list. Also, go ahead and subscribe to us on Spreaker and iTunes, and let us know also on our Facebook page if you have any topic suggestions as well. We're always looking for new nerdy stuff to talk about. It does not have to be about things we've already talked about. If it's nerdy, we'll probably talk about it.
Yeah, most likely, assuming we have some sort of expertise or could get someone that is an expert at that subject.
Right, yep.
Yeah, and also a huge thank you to Public House Media for making this show possible. Make sure to check them out on Facebook and on Twitter at the PH Media or on their website, www.thephmedia.com, to stay up to date on this podcast and all the other shows they have going on.
All right, thanks for listening. Have a good one.